Hello everybody, and welcome to Fruit Basket Season 2, Episode 13 Anime Review. This episode, we basically see what Yuki's going to have to deal with in the Student Council. And I wish him luck, is all I'm going to say. They are quite the characters. Quite frankly, couldn't pay me enough to deal with all of them. But no, there was some interesting stuff too. Back at school, obviously. We're back to our regular cast from last week. It was a good episode. I liked it. I liked the introduction. I can't tell if half the members of the student council, I can't tell if I like them or hate them. I can't decide, you know, and I think that's a sign right there. Anyway, let's jump into the episode and see how everything went down. Let's do this. Episode begins, as I said, back at school. Uo picks a fight with Kyo because Kyo's gotten taller and she's not happy about that. Turns out she's probably just still mad because Kurino never got back to her. Like, you don't leave that lady hanging, my dude. And then Hana, reads Kyo's mind, or doesn't, but he thinks she did, and he gets scared by it, because of course he did. Hana does that to people. She makes them very scared. But yeah, then after that, Yuki's fangirl gave him some biscuits. That's quite nice. It's weird. The less we see her, the more pleasant I find her. Is that a weird thing to say? When she's there all the time, can't stand her. Every so often, I mean, she had that little one episode, so I guess she's nice now, I guess. Then, mysterious new girl shows up at Yuki, and she is a monster flirt and everything. And it's like, oh, okay. Don't think I've met you before. We don't know her name yet, so I guess I won't say it. Yeah, she shows up. She calls him Yun Yun, which, not to be confused with the girl from Konosuba. There's a space in between the Yuns, that's how you know. And yeah, the fan club are like, what is going on? Why is she calling him Yun Yun? That's not okay. Kakeru shows up. I think we've actually met him before, way back at the beginning of the season, which feels like a lifetime ago now. He's like that carefree kind of guy. He shows up too. He also calls him Yun Yun. And then we go to meet the rest of the student council. There's the quiet girl, who's... I wrote her name down for later because it's sort of relevant. But then also this new little kid, basically. He's not a little kid, he's like a year younger than them. But he's little, so that's... Yeah, I didn't write his name down. Now, it's not Naoto, but there's a now and a toe in it. But there's now Yuto. I forgot his name. It's something along those lines, I remember. They just call him Shorty, so I might just call him Shorty as well. Is that too harsh? Being short's not a problem. I'd love to be short. Maybe not super short, but maybe somewhere in the middle. Although I'm not particularly tall. Never mind, I'm happy with my height. I take it back. But yeah, he's really uptight and everything. Then you got the quiet girl. You got Kimi, who is the flirty girl, I guess. And then you got Kakeru, who is he's Kakeru. He's probably the focus of this week's episode, Kakeru. So yeah, more on him. Yuki's got his work cut out for him, but then he gives a nice old speech to them all about, I'm new to this, guys, but I hope you'll all work with me to be the best student council we can possibly be. And it's like, yeah, golf clap for Yuki. He did a good job so far. But yeah, no, I've got a feeling it ain't gonna be all smooth. Well, I mean, obviously it ain't smooth sailing already, but I've got a feeling the rest of them are gonna have at least an episode, maybe like a little mini arc dedicated to them, because there's definitely stuff beneath the surface. Kimi, there's more to her than meets the eye. She got all angry and punched Kakeru at one point, and then, well, no, the rest of them I'll save it for in a minute, because the quiet girl, whose name I've definitely wrote down at the point where it's necessary, so when I get to there, then it'll be golden. But yeah, let's continue on. Student council met. Progress. Objective complete. We go back now to Yuki going through the student council members. Kimi is just trolling the fangirls some more, as she does. And it's very effective. She's good at it. Yeah, the quiet girl and the shorty, they were chatting as well. He was mad because they're not the super defense school force or whatever it was. And Lady Boy Kakeru thinks they were. They all have their quirks, is what I put it. They're all characters. Let's call them that. Yuki and Kakeru are meant to be going around to all the clubs helping. However, Kakeru fell asleep on some compost or some. It'd be funny if it was manure, but I don't think it was. Probably compost or something. You know, and he's fallen asleep on that. Not helpful. My note just says, how is he the vice president? So I'm going to assume nobody else wanted to take up the job, and that's why he did it, because he's not exactly what I'd call a vice president. He gets distracted talking to his friends when he's meant to be working, which, you know, you get fired for that. I've been fired for that. That's not true. But yeah, then he gets distracted by friends. Yuki, though, when watching him, he reminds him of both Ayame and Kyo. So I guess if Ayame and Kyo did the Dragon Ball Fusion dance, they'd make Kakarot. Of course, that has not been confirmed yet. I don't think... that's next episode where they have to try it out, then they'll Dragon Ball Fusion together. What am I saying? I'm just saying gibberish now. But yeah, then he says something about how, like, oh, he's glowing unlike myself. And I'm like, Yuki, you keep putting yourself down, my dude. I think you're great. But no, yeah, he's trying to change himself for the better. Good stuff there. Then they go back to the meeting room, the student council room. They got a new whiteboard, which they definitely obtained legally. And I hope Kimmy didn't do anything too dodgy to get it. That's all I'm saying on that part, I guess. She says she just asked the teacher. That's a gullible teacher, I guess. That teacher needs to have his hard drive searched, is all I'm saying. Kakarot then wants to discuss which colour, I guess it's sort of like Power Rangers, the thing they're going for. Which colour you're going to be. Red's the leader in Power Rangers. I'm like, okay, they're probably talking about a Power Rangers type thing. So yeah, Yuki becomes the red one. This part's not important. I don't know. I'm not going to go through the colours. Although it is sort of important because Machi was quiet the whole time. I might have been pronouncing that wrong. I'm sorry if I am. Kimmy wanted to be pink. However, here's a flipping... Machi wouldn't say what colour she wants to be, but she had a pink pen. That's my eyesight there. It's a pink pen, see? So she likes pink. So she actually wants to be pink, but she's not going to say anything because she's shy. That's a theory right there. I've got a feeling we're going to have something to do with that. Like, she's going to have a little episode dedicated to her. Because they're going to do that thing again that they love doing. I've said it many times. It's like, I don't really care about this character. And then it's like, they have an episode dedicated to them. It's like, I like this character now. That's how they do it. That's how they get me. So yeah, that happened. Kakarot ended the argument by turning a bit serious. And he was like, this is a stupid, idiotic argument. But then they were all like, you started this argument, my dude. And so yeah, he gets his colour changed from being the Black Ranger, who, you know, is the cool one, and dark and edgy and in the shadows. But no, he gets changed to like the Pooh Brown one or something. I can't remember exactly what it said, but I'm choosing to believe it was Pooh Brown, a perfect colour for Kakarot. It's what he deserves. Is it what he deserves? We'll say it's what he deserves. After the meeting's done, Kakarot spots Toru walking home with Kyo, which it's like, oh, what's up with that? Does he know Toru? Or does he might know Toru, because of a thing he says later on as well. Probably wrong on that. I am wrong a lot, but hey, that's what I'm here for. Yuki's helping the flower club take some planters. Runs into Kakarot, and then he asks about Toru. He's like, hey, do you like her? Do you like her? Being basically just that one annoying friend that everyone has. If you don't have that friend, you are that friend. But yeah, then he says Kyo looks like her boyfriend. No reaction from Yuki. Was expecting her to sort of provoke a little thing. But then he's like, yeah, and he looks happy unlike you, basically. And that's like, damn, that's a bit harsh. And Yuki's like, hey, not cool, my dude. He gets mad, saying, well, basically, what gives you the right to determine who's to judge people's happiness against each other? It was pretty good. But then Kakarot gets annoyed, and he kicks the planters. The poor plant, they were innocent. They didn't do anything. And he's like, shut up. Why are you getting annoyed? He's like, why are you getting annoyed? They have an argument, a brief scuffle, you might say. Their collars are being pulled. And yeah, then eventually, though, during this argument, Yuki was like, yep, I'm sorry. I wasn't lecturing you. I was actually lecturing myself. Like, you know, when you like talk, it's like basically you should take your own advice is sort of what Yuki's it's sort of thing like that, where he's saying the advice isn't for him, it's for himself. You know what I mean? And he's just like, he's his own worst enemy, basically. He's his own villain. You know, the enemy comes from within and stuff. Made sense. I'm not doing a good job of explaining it, but they made sense in context. Kakarot then asks, basically, how can I see the same things as you? Like, you got Yuki, who is sort of jealous of Kakarot and Kyo and people like that, because, you know, glow, in his words. And, you know, Kakeru being like, he's jealous of Yuki, it seems. He says something, he said he was jealous of how Yuki understands others. And it pissed him off because it's what she said. Who is she? It's not a euphemism. Like, I think, is she Toru? Because he was definitely eyeing up Toru earlier. Like, Kyo was there as well, but he was looking at Toru. Or maybe it could be Kimi because they seem to know each other. So maybe it's one of that. It could be what's her name? Machi. It could be Machi too, because they were the two that were introduced at the beginning. I think so. So yeah, who knows there? It could be anyone. It could be someone we don't even know yet. Who knows? Not me. Kakeru then takes the blame for destroying the planters, which, yeah, he better do. He was the one that destroyed the planters. Yuki did nothing in that situation. The next day, Kakeru apologizes to Kyo, and Kyo is just like, I don't even know who you are. Why are you what did you do? And I'm like, yeah, what did he do? Is it because he picked a fight with Yuki that he thought he was insulting Kyo? I don't really know what's going on there. Like, maybe he thought something bad about Kyo or something. And he felt the need to apologize even though Kyo had no idea, maybe? Something like that. Could be wrong, though. But yeah, then Yuki, upon hanging out with Kakeru some more, he's starting to think that being with others might not be so bad. And I'm like, Yuki, my dude, we're 1.5 seasons in. You better think people are alright at this point. Like, have you seen the size of the cast? There's a lot of them. But yeah, that was where the episode ended. Felt kind of not lackluster. It was definitely, I mean, we had the beach arc with all the mental stuff happening. We definitely took a more peaceful turn, I guess we'll call it. It's still good. That's, don't get me wrong. It's definitely still good. And it's focusing on other characters. God, if we get like a Civil War type situation, but obviously not fighting the giant alien dude, more probably working together to solve a common problem. That's going to be cool when we get there. Hopefully something akin to that happens. But even if it doesn't, just everyone sort of working out their problems is nice. Like, we learned a bit more. I think the student council are going to play a role for a little bit. They're going to be the focus, I guess. We might also jump to Toru and Kyo doing whatever Toru and Kyo do. Obviously, Toru's still investigating. Rin is investigating too. Wonder what's going on there. We're going to come to a head. I get a feeling we're going to have a few episodes of calm, and then things are going to get mental again. That's sort of what I'm thinking is going to happen. But yeah, I guess I'll wrap this up here. This feels like it's been a shorter one, but they don't all have to be super long. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye, guys.